So I wanted to take you through my morning warm-up before I go skiing. How do I get my body moving? What makes me feel good? So I start with looking up at the sky, a nice circle, and this gets the ankles moving. Then I put my feet together for a different kind of ankle flexibility, mobility as well. And it's kind of I really like the yoga movements because when I wake up in the morning, first thing, I'm a little bit stiff. So here I bend over and like kind of go side to side. And I spend some time on the side that feels tighter if the need be. And just take as much time as you need for that exercise, whatever feels good. And then into downward dog and then walking the legs. This is good for the hamstrings. So if you feel one hamstring is much tighter than the other, just spend some time there. And then I'm lifting here the right leg, or you can start whichever leg you want, and then do like a side bend. And then that's a really good like side body stretch in general. And then go into the lunging position, sun salutation. Oh, this feels really good if you like sink deep into the hips. It's like such an opener. Usually my hips and back kind of crackle a little bit. So if that happens to you, it's normal. And then warrior one position, and then the hand above. Have fun with it. And then the back bend. Hold on to your thigh, make it nice and smooth. And then into plank position, down into chaturanga, and then up the phoenix or what. I'm not a yogi, okay, here. This position, just do this. It feels really good to do some kind of back bends both ways. And then you go back into downward dog, and then we're going to do the other leg. So again, the left leg I'm doing, so the side bend. Hold as long as it feels good, and go into your lunge position with the sun salutation, and just like dig deep in there. Just like let it get to that point where you want to be. And then the warrior one position, and the hand above the head, side body bend. And then we're going to do a back bend. I'm not sure if these are the right words, but you know what I mean, right? That's the goal. And then here I'm going to do a nice hamstring stretch. Just let it all out, like let your head and shoulders, everything hang out really good. And then you're going to do side body twist. This is so good for the rotation. Like when you're a skier, you use a lot of forces in your turns. This is good to stretch it out, get it warmed up before you get going to go skiing. And then this is the best one. Right after you wake up, like do some roll downs. So one vertebrae at a time on the way up and also on the way down. And this is actually, you're going to feel like your nervous system is kind of, like it's hard to do that first thing in the morning, but it's normal that it feels hard. So don't freak out. It's just going to help you for the rest of your day. All these exercises are very yogi style, but at the end I'm adding some like glute and core activations because skiing takes a lot of that. So here on your back, make sure your back is nice and flat on the ground. We're gonna do leg alternating onto the floor. This is like a deep core kind of Pilates warm up. You should really feel your core kind of deep in there, and you want to like contract the elevator shaft, they call it. So it's like not the big muscles, but like the deep core muscles. And then in between that, once you've done 10 aside, you can go into happy baby position. That's a super good stretch for the low back and also the groin. I love that one. I'm a happy baby. And then I'm going to do the double leg warm up for core. So this is kind of like the harder version. The single leg is less weight. The double leg is more. So if you feel comfortable, this is kind of the next step. And I usually do like 15 to 20. So here I'm doing a shorter version to show you, but you can do whatever you want. Make sure your chin is nice and tucked in, so your head is in the right place. Hold on to one leg, rotate around, feel your hips, see if there's much tightness around the hip flexors. I just did this morning, so here on the left there was more tension, so I remember that. So if I want to spend more time later on, I'm going to stretch more my left side. And then I'm going to do some glute activation here, lying on my side. Make sure your side body is nice and straight, and your hip joint is not actually moving. It's only coming from your glutes. And push really hard into your heel as if you're trailing up a wall. And yeah, up and down. And then here I'm doing circles, one direction and then the other. And then I'm going to do the other side. Always doing both sides. So yeah, again, like make sure that crease between your hip and your ribs, that it's not moving in there. So you're not going too high that it's moving. You just want to make sure that your glutes are nice and fired. And yeah, doing some circles both directions. I'd say 10 each direction. That's what I normally do. And the last one is kind of a balance and glutes activation. You get into that position here and you're going to be rotating out and then in, like further in than like just standing at 90. And this is actually going to be quite challenging for your balance. I was going down horizontal, now I'm about 45-degree angle with my body. And then I'm going to be going even higher to, I guess, 50 degrees or something.